As I look in the mirror again, even like right now, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty happy with what I look like in the mirror. The first wake-up call for me is Xavier's born. I can't lift the kid. I can't move with him. I can't believe I can't hold this kid in my arms and go 3 blocks even, right? I'm about to fall. I'm exhausted. Even like everything was exhaustion. If you told me in my 20s that I'd be in a gym going 4 times a week and be doing what I'm doing, I'd say you're crazy. There's no way I would do any of this stuff. You went through hell for that 1 hour. Those are the type of things that you don't think you're really capable of doing. 5, 6 more minutes of pain, like then you're happy. I'm proud of who I am as an individual. I'm proud of how I take care of myself. Like all those things I think turn into you're proud of who you are in the mirror.
I appreciate it. Hope to be here for 50 more.
That's why the Joker and Lex Luthor are like the 2 ultimate bad guys of all time. I got my ass kicked in again, but I'm coming back tomorrow.
You're just angrier. You still have an anger monster. What do you remember of me and you at peak? Wow. Like, what was that like? Because we did that because we were talking about this when we first sat down. When was it that we first did our first session?
I feel like it was like 2012. I
wonder if my text messages go back that far.
If you look at the video I sent you when I did the 135, right?
Yeah, I should look at the date.
The date on that will probably tell you. That was the year that we did it, right?
Let's say it took 6 months before that.
Yeah.
It's just guessing. I don't know how long it really took.
Yeah, so I think it was like probably 2 years.
I think that we worked out together for like a couple of years.
Yeah, we definitely
before
did.
This ever happened.
Definitely did. It was like 2 or 3 years. I think we worked out.
So let's say that it was like 2012 or 13 to 2015.
I think
when we were working out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember? What do you remember from working out? Like, what did we do? I know we did bench.
We did bench,
but we did a
lot of front squat. Do you remember you taught me how to front squat there? That's where I learned to get uncomfortable with putting the bar on my neck, right?
I used to just give you the hardest things.
Yeah, you really did.
You didn't do great with it, but I would give you the hardest things.
I learned how to front squat there, then and there, and really how to get that form down.
When I was doing all this, like in your head, what was going through your head? Was it like, well, I like Kyle, I trust Kyle, I'm going to do what he says? Was it like, I like getting better, I feel like I'm getting stronger, like cool, I'm on a good mission? Was it like, well, Joe is paying me with these sessions, so like, I don't want to throw it away?
No, I think it was more like we got to hang out because, we kept it always fun when we're hanging out while we're working out. And I was getting stronger. So it was like a combination of, I get to hang out with one of my friends. We get to do some workouts that are giving me, better than doing nothing kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I was just having a good time with it. It was like, we got, you'd be like, let's do this. I'm like, yeah, let's do something else. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay. You'd be like, okay, whatever. Right. But you had plans for me. And most of the time I followed it. 99% of the time I followed it. But there'd be times like, yeah, I don't want to do that today. But like we did wall sits and we did all kinds of stuff. And we worked on upper body because I like upper body more. But you definitely worked on my legs. And I learned how to front squat. It was probably the fundamental beginnings of my, all my squat movement was front squat over back squat.
What was the deal again? Like, how did you meet Joe?
So the way I met Joe was my office was in 26th Street between 5th and Madison. There was a gym there called Duomo Gym, right? And Sean Andrews was a trainer / like he was training people there and he was there. Me and a buddy of mine that worked together were going to that gym because we got a discount because we were working in the building, and we just go down and fuck about. We just we would bench press, whatever. We just do stuff for fun. And Sean was watching us both work out one day, and he's like, "You idiots have no idea what you're doing. Why don't you train with me, and I'll give you a great price because you can both train with us together, right?" And so we were both going there, and he was giving us a really great price for an hour because he's training us both at the same time. And then James, my friend James, who was there working out with me, he got hurt. He hurt his back. So then I was solo. And then Sean brought me over to Peak because Sean was a trainer there too. So that's where I started working out at Peak. And then, of course, I met Joe there, right? Like Joe, you know, the pompous ass Joe is. He's all over the place. So I met him and stuff, and we started to talk, and and then I think one day there was a computer problem or something like that. And I said, "Oh, I can fix that. You know, like I'm here. I might as well fix it." So I fixed it. And he's like, "Oh, you know how to do this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, like, "Do you want to help me with this stuff in the future?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I guess. You know, what are you thinking?" Like, I'm thinking of making max money here because I don't really give a shit. Like, the training wasn't something I was deep into. It was just something I was just doing for kind of like
How'd
fun.
you get into the training in the first place?
Again, through, like I said, Sean Andrews, right? So Sean Andrews brought me over.
Your buddy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you would share.
Yeah, they would share, and then Sean Andrews brought us over to Peak.
Sean Andrews was the trainer.
Yeah, Sean Andrews was the trainer.
But your buddy was the one who found Sean Andrews and was like,
Well,
"Come share."
no,
this
Sean
session
Andrews
with
just
him."
found us on the floor, like, of Duomo.
Oh, you guys
Yeah.
were just working.
We were just
out at
working
Duomo.
out, and Sean came up to us.
So wait, I didn't know that you were going to the gym on your own. So like you were like
was
with your buddy, and you
yeah,
were
but it was
already,
it was very babyish, right? I wasn't even really doing anything. It was just like kind of like Sean would do. So we were so weak, or at least I was, that Sean would be doing like a tricep thing where I'd be holding a towel and he'd be going like this and do for resistance.
Because like, yeah, you sent me a bunch of great photos.
Yeah.
And like some were like old.
Yeah.
Like older.
Some of them,
You look
yeah.
a lot like Xavier.
Yeah.
Or Xavier looks a lot
Right,
like
yeah,
you.
it's
You
true.
see it a lot more.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're tall, skinny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like you could tell it's you, but it's like, oh, it's
Yeah,
like a different dude.
Totally.
Did you work out then? Like, did you work out growing up?
Not
Like, I know
really.
you wrestled.
Yeah, I wrestled my freshman year, and I was pretty weak, but I was really wiry, right? So that's one of my biggest problems was, as a wrestler, most of those guys were stocky and strong. I was tall and wiry. So
Like Xavier.
So I was a good wiry wrestler, but I didn't have a lot of strength, so I could get out-muscled pretty quickly. And I didn't stick around too long to that stuff, so I didn't really do much working out at all. So most of high school was very, very little working out, right? And when I was a kid, I used to swim on the swim team and stuff like that. And we would play basketball outside because it was just like what we did in Indiana. But in general, I wasn't doing any kind of like regimen program. And even with Sean, it was kind of a joke too. A lot of it was like didn't even lift weights. We were just doing more like whatever, like manual type things. It was
But even when you found Sean, was that because like you were looking for a trainer, or like it was your
Not at all.
friend?
Just a buddy of mine that was like,
Oh, you were both on the floor.
yeah, we're on the
But, like,
floor.
you joined the gym.
Yeah, we joined. I've joined multiple gyms.
So you
Yeah.
kind of maybe after your adult life, like you would like have a gym membership.
Oh yeah, because I think you need it.
That's what I want to know more about.
So I
So
had,
like,
I was
tell me
part
the
of
beginning
Equinox,
of like
yeah.
of that.
So I did like, I
Because
had
you said you didn't do a lot in high school.
No. So like
But then college?
a little bit, because like everybody would the guys would go to the gym, so I'd kind of follow them over and stuff like that. So I would do a little bit. And then when I got to New York, I thought you have to have a gym membership. Every guy has a gym membership just because it's just a thing to have. And I would go here and there to Equinox or whether it be Crunch or Equinox. I had those memberships, and sometimes a girl I know would be there too. So we would work out together, quote unquote, where I just jump on the treadmill for like 6 minutes or some BS, and then like go maybe do a couple dumbbell curls, and then like, okay, I'm done. Like I would nothing with the focus or nothing that would like turn into anything, because I didn't really care about that stuff that much, I remember like when I was, all the battles I've gone through with the gym, and just like how you correlate that with your life, just there is so many trials and tribulations that we do in the gym that it definitely crosses over, because you're just like, oh my God, like you went through hell for that 1 hour, and when you're done, you feel like you can do anything, because those are the type of things that you don't think you're really capable of doing. Like when I'm like when you have to lift really heavy shit or like 10 reps of like whatever it may be, and then you're totally done. You've done the auxiliary, you've done the heavy lifting, and then you get to the thaw. You're like, I don't want to do the thaw. I got nothing left, right? Then it's 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Then it's 1:30. Then it's one. That's a lot. My legs are already shot the fuck. They're done. They're cooked. But, it's just like 5-6 more minutes of pain, and then you're in the glory. Like, then you're happy. And as you're pulling and your legs are fucking burning like a motherfucker and you're in so much pain, you're like, but it's only 30 more seconds and you're like in heaven almost, like, right? Like you get to be in the glory phase. Like you get to enjoy the fact that it's fucking over. Your name goes on the board and you accomplish something, right? I mean, maybe that's what High Rocks is, and I don't really want to do it, but that is what it's all about. It's pushing your body to the ultimate threshold and then the euphoria of it for accomplishing whatever goal. That's why the Joker and Lex Luthor are like the two ultimate bad guys of all time, right? So yeah, like yeah, I got my ass kicked in again, but I'm coming back tomorrow, right? I'm getting my ass kicked in. I'm gonna come back. Like they're like, but this one's gonna work, but this one's gonna work, but they just keep on going, and eventually, in the comic book, they do win. A lot of them, they do get a chance to win here and there, right? So it's the truth. Like I think that when you think of this journey that even I've gone through, it's the madness of it all is when I look at, like, there's a really cool, well, I wouldn't say it's cool. It's more like just a picture of me and Money on the wall, and we're fat as fuck. We're fat kids on the wall. Like we are, I don't even know how that's possible because I thought I was getting skinnier, but I must have hit a fat phase again, right? So I'm fat and he's fat and we look kind of happy, but it's like, oh my God, that was how long ago? And how much work did we both, like I think he's worked much harder than I have, but the work we put in to be where we are today, when you're like, I'm 50 and I go like home to Indiana and you see all my friends, they're fat, they're bald, they're out of shape, they all look terrible, and you're like, I gotta be doing something right here, right? I mean, I'm only seem to be getting better while everyone seems to be falling off a cliff right now. So I'm like, I always kind of reminisce back to that picture and the fact that I sent it to you right now. I was like looking at it going, wow, I have to keep this in my memory bank, because that's where you go if you don't continue this journey, right? If you don't keep on pushing yourself.
Because in that photo, you were probably around early 40s?
Yeah, definitely.
42?
Yeah.
And I know the photo you're talking about.
I got a little mustache action and we look roly-poly, man. You look very roly-poly. Yeah.
And you look way better now.
Yeah.
Like, and not just look.
Right.
Like, you're different.
Yeah.
You're different. Like, you're still Pat.
Yeah.
Dude, you're a different Pat.
Yeah.
The longer I go back, what I remember of you were a lot angrier, and like, you're just angrier. The further I go.
Oh yeah.
The more I knew you, the less angry you got. It was always better. You still have an anger monster. You had
Yeah, of course.
But I think you've learned how to give it an outlet through the training.
Oh, definitely.
So that it gets its sticks.
It's definitely,
and then it doesn't have to be bottled up.
Right. It's a requirement. It really is. Like, I think my wife's seen it. We have a better marriage because of it. We're a much stronger couple because I don't just bottle up. I mean, I'm like I gotta go to the gym. She goes, you go to the gym, go get, get all that angst out and come home. Don't be upset with the family. And I'm like, you're right. And I'll go and I'll do my thing. I'll hit that weights really hard, lift as heavy as I can, and push my body to the max. Because a lot of times I'll come home and I'm like, I think I need a nap, right? Like it's that's how hard we're pushing it, right? So it's super important. But yes, I was definitely more angrier and I'm a lot more calmer. But you also love what you look like in the mirror. Like when you look in the mirror and you work as hard as we do, you fall in love with yourself. I think that's a key that you like, I think there was a time in your 20s where you're in love with yourself, but then as you get older, you just kind of forget who's in the mirror, right? And as I look in the mirror again, even like right now, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty happy with what I look like in the mirror, and that also just always requantifies everything I do, how hard I work, and why I push myself again to like the next level, because I just want it to get better and better. The first wake up call for me is Xavier's born. I can't lift the kid. I I can't move with him. I can't believe I can't hold this kid in my arms and go 3 blocks even, right? I'm about to fall. I'm exhausted. Even like it just everything was exhaustion, exhaustion, exhaustion. So when we started to work out together, I started to get some strength. So I started to feel like, whoa, I can do a couple more things that I could do before, and that really started to change things. Like just you put me on at least some plan when I was at peak that I didn't have before, right? I was in la la land. I was just kind of, hey, I used to say, oh, it should be back and biceps and chest and triceps. So like I knew the old, like rhyme, but I didn't do any of it. Like I was like, okay, whatever. And I never would work out my legs. Like my legs were just dead. There was no way I was going to work out legs. You worked out my legs more than I ever worked out my legs in my life, right? All the time we'd be like on that funny thing that would like vibrate. Remember that thing like where you had to like...
We'd always start there. And make you do squats
exactly.
and stuff. And like,
no, just be like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, yes.
This all like, actually, I'm learning a little bit because I thought when we started peak, you had never done anything.
No.
And that wasn't the case.
No, a little bit.
You were
doing...
Yeah. You were doing stuff and like you had motivation because you want to be stronger dad.
I needed to just be at least the dad who could carry their kid,
Right.
like, a couple blocks. That's embarrassing that you can't, The fort just started changing everything, right? Like, it's not just physical, it was mental. It was committing to something that I don't even do or like every week, 2 times a week, then 3 times a week, then 4 times a week. Like, if you told me in my 20s that I'd be in a gym going 4 times a week and be doing what I'm doing, I'd say you're crazy. There's no way I would do any of this stuff. It doesn't even make sense. Like, when you see all these guys that are like, oh, they've gotten all ripped and they gotten big, I'm like, that's not going to be me. That's not who I am. I don't ever expect that. So again, that's what I talk about when I look in the mirror and I look at the mirror, I'm like, whoa, like I've put the time in. I really have. And I'm like, and I don't do it like I used to do it even partial where I would stop after September and it would go almost till December and I would be done. I'm here all year long, from the first day of the new year to the end of the new year. I'm here all year long, constantly. And if I take a week off, I don't fall off the track. There's no like, hey, like I'm gonna be gone for 4 weeks shortly. It doesn't matter. I'm mentally dialed in that I'll be back and I will get stronger and I'll push myself that much harder. Like it's a different mentality.
This brings up something. What happened during COVID?
So during COVID, I was really lost, right? I was scared because this is the first time I've never been away from the gym like this much other than when I'm
You're in a good rhythm.
Yeah, it was
when COVID
killer rhythm. I just beat Sam and kicked his ass on another back squat and I was headed to Disney World, right? And we just heard that COVID was like in China. I was like, man, whatever, who cares in China, right? Come back to like the whole world coming to an end, right? In March, is like it all shut down. The schools said, nope, that's it. We're shutting the school down. And we made a family decision to go to Pennsylvania. So we moved to Pennsylvania now for being honest, like, till where that was like October or November. And I had no gym. I know nothing. I even tried. So I slapped on some shoes, went outside for a run. And I was like, I'm not a runner. This isn't what I do. I don't know what the fuck to do. Right. I'm just lost. So I remember calling you and say, hey, I need to figure this out. Like, are you guys going to open up? Like, can I come to the city? Like, what are you doing? And you're like, no, but like, we're struggling too. Do you want to take some equipment? Like, yeah, I'll take a whole bench set. Give me everything. Right. So I took everything, 20s, 10s, 15s, the rack, the bench, all of it. I took it all, threw it in my van and went Pennsylvania and cranked it all up and set it up in my basement. I was like, yeah, I can back squat. I can do all these things. And then the first thing I think is, I have an opportunity to just bench. Nobody's watching because we had this, you remember you had this weird program where like for accountability, we would all get on Zoom and we would be doing whatever, but we would show ourselves so we could kind of say, hey, I'm doing this and this is doing this and this one's doing this. And while during that time, all I did was bench. And Dan would say to me, you can't just bench, Pat. And I said, but I can, Dan, because you're not here and I can do whatever I want. And there's no program. So I was benching Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, over and over again. And I was getting stronger because if you just bench every day, your bench is going to grow.
You did do more than bench.
Yeah.
Because I can think of one time that I had you do burpees.
Yes. You had me do like 100 burpees. Yeah. I did that too. Yes. And I recorded it too because you told me I had to record it. But I also blew out my shoulder because of bench, right? Because of all the bench, my left shoulder just blew out one day. It was like, it's done. It just like, it collapsed. And I was like, I can't lift my shoulder. I was again in the same position I was when we were working out back at Peak. Remember, I tore my labrum from sleeping apparently, and I couldn't lift my right arm up. Do you remember? I blew the shoulder, and we had to start making adjustments. That's when we did the whole. Remember, we had that crazy hook thing, like with the 2-arm hook thing to be able to hold it and stuff like that, because I had like no movement here, right? So I blow up my shoulder. I'm coming in the city to see Chloe now. Chloe is going to fix my shoulder. So Chloe is zapping me with her needles and everything. And so we got it working again. And I was like, I can't ever do that again. But I survived doing whatever there, right? Just doing whatever I possibly could, which was just whatever random workouts. I got decent at burpees because that seemed to be the thing that a lot of us were doing, was just burping because there's nothing else to do, right? And I had my bench, and I would curl, like I would curl the bar and I would do things, but there wasn't a lot. There was like, you felt lost because there was no program. And I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I've been focused on a program and been doing all these things, and now we're completely derailed, right? So I remember.
But what I think also is maybe not being like played up enough is like, we stayed pretty close.
Yeah.
During that.
Definitely. Yeah. I was calling you a lot. We were talking a lot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a running theme through your whole story. It's like the connection's everything.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's always been about the connection.
Yeah. Like even when people started coming back to the gym and we weren't ready to come back, I was still trying to figure out how I could be a part of the action. And like I said, I was FaceTiming in the classes where I was doing stuff myself to just be still part of the group. And, I don't think I got credit for those classes, but like I would have got to my 1,000 faster maybe if I got the credit for those classes, right? In COVID, because no one got credit for those classes.
You show up,
right?
we see Cesar,
totally.
See Allie,
Yep.
Lindsay,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
whoever
Money
was on
Money always just set up his phone. And in fact, there's video of like Matt Culkin.
Lindsay Swait was always on.
Yep. Matt Culkin. It's me, Matt Culkin, and it's me in my house in Pennsylvania. And Matt Culkin.
We didn't know Matt Culkin then.
No.
You're thinking of somebody else.
Oh, then who was it?
Matt Culkin was post-COVID.
Oh, then
so it was just me, Jake, Danny.
No,
Kat.
it was Kat. It was Kat.
Yeah.
You're right. It was Kat. Now I think about it, it was Kat. You're right. It was Kat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why people like being around me is because I don't try to bring negative energy. I keep it positive. I want it to be fun. I want it to always keep that like a really positive attitude. I think, sometimes people call me the mayor, right? It's because I love spreading all that like joy. We push each other. We're always pushing each other to get one more rep. When we're rowing against each other, but it's not out of any it's competition, but it's not, it's love. It's love in competitions, because we all know as you work out with people, you know what they're capable of. So you want to push them to that level, and you want people to push you to that level. A really funny story was, and a lot of people used to laugh about this, is I forgot what member it was, but one of the members was looking to beat me on the board. And as they were rowing, people were screaming, "Fuck Pat Song, fuck Pat Song." And that energized him to beat me by like 1/10 of a second or something, but it was enough for him to do it. And I was chanting it myself, because I was like, dude, if you're going to do it, do it. You know what I mean? So those are like some of the best moments at the gym, is when we all root for each other or root for one individual to be great. It's not an environment where it's like, oh, you don't know the person and nobody, like you're by yourself. If you let the community engulf you the way that we can, everybody's rooting for everybody at every moment, for some kind of positive outcome.
What's wild when I think back to the gym is that seemed to be the longest part of your journey, which was the part where like you weren't actually very good at the gym.
No.
Like for a long time, you kept coming.
Yeah.
But like you actually it was really hard. It was really hard, and everybody knew it.
Oh yeah.
But what you, rather than like make it about you and yourself, you made it all about everybody else. With money, when money came in, he was brand spanking new. Nothing. Money was a zero. Like, as far as like, he had never picked up a weight, like he hadn't done anything. So he was like starting at the basics. So you were like well ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came in, what I saw from you was like, I'm going to fucking help this guy. And the way I'm going to help him is like, I'm going to like go down to his level. And like, also, since I hate this shit,
Right.
I'm going to be able to do less, but I'm going to be able to help this guy.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Because like, I was like, oh, I mean, this dude can only produce this much on the output. Well, if I'm like a second or two higher, faster than him, I'm good, right? Like instead of picking the people that are like maniacs next to me, where I'm forcing me to be a maniac, if I pick the person who's the most or the least strength, then it's like, then the work is, I'm still getting a workout, but it's not like a workout. You know what I mean? That's how it was in the beginning. Because I was like, yeah, I'm definitely coming all the time because I like it. I love the environment. I love everything. But do I need to get better at thaw? So I was like, nah, not really. I don't really care if I get better at thaw. You know, like I already said to myself, this part of the gym is important. This part of the gym I don't care so much about, you know? And so I would always work hard on the bench. It's my favorite workout. I would always work hard on the back squat, deadlifts and up and down sometimes. But like there was a part of the workout where I was kind of like, I'm going to check out. This is it. I've given you what I can. Oh, money, we're good. Like money's weak here. Like money was weak everywhere. So it was like easy to work with him. Now he grew fast, very fast, because he was very dedicated, plus running, all that. So he's slowly watching this person get away from you. And you have no choice but to catch up to him. Because if you don't, first of all, he's going to ridicule you for that,
but
right?
Like, I think that whole thing, and I think you're missing this part of it. It wasn't, like the side note was that you got to take it a little bit easier in the thaws. The first note was like you want to help money.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean,
that's what I saw.
Yeah. I mean,
you're like, I can help him.
Yeah. I always help people, I think, at the gym. I think that when you like, because I had already seen more, even though I wasn't putting my max effort, I was still improving. I was still getting stronger. Things were still happening. Just working out and continuing to do it, you get stronger. It's an automatic thing. So he was really roly-poly, you know what I mean? And so I definitely wanted to help him. And we became buddies where we were working out exclusively, almost only the two of us together, like everything together, just him and I. So yeah, we got really close and we really connected. And yeah, he went up like a rocket. Well, I was just kind of like, I don't know, I was still kind of like middling still, you know, I hadn't really gotten to that point where I was like, okay, I can really do this. I like remember like my 500-meter time was like, early was like 2:10, 2:15, it might have been like 2:20 something. And then it got to like 2:01, you know, and then you're like, okay, wait. And then you got like sub 2 minutes. And then you start to say, you know, like we used to use this joke all the time. Oh, there's me. And then there's the girl side, and I'm like, oh, I gotta beat the top girl, and I'm happy, right? Because I was like, I wasn't really competing in the thaw side. Now on the other side, I was fine. I'm like, I was getting stronger, so it didn't matter. But this side, it was always, oh, the girl board. Oh, there's the guy board. Well, I can't even compete. Like I'm not even in the top 50 for this, so I'm just gonna try to, as I said, I'm gonna beat the top bitch. Right? I'm gonna be top bitch. I'm gonna beat the top bitch. And then of course, you know, if you keep on doing it, you get faster, right? We're stronger. So I started to slowly come back to the men's side. And then these new members coming like, well, I can beat these guys because they're new. And then eventually you're in the middle, you know, and you start to climb. And I think.
But then there's a point where money started helping you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So money, I think what money did for me is he knew that I was dogging it. He says, dude, he goes, are you going to do it for real today? Or are you going to, like, he knows me. So he would be like, don't dog it. Let's do it for real. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, what? I'm like, I always said to him, like, what does that, give me an effort level of this. He goes, give me like a 7 or an 8 today. And I was like, fine, I'll give you 7, 8. And then while we're doing it, he pushed me up to a 9. So, you know, like he would push me, he'd push me and push me. So like, there's even a funny thing, like during COVID. He would bother me during COVID, and I would literally put down they put the phone, and it would be me working out next to him while he was in the gym, and I would be working out in my home weight system, and it'd be me on FaceTime so he could see for accountability. That's how much money wanted me to continue to focus on the gym, even though I wasn't even there at the time. So
but then you started pushing him.
yeah,
Then it turned back like maybe 3 years ago.
yeah,
And money wasn't in the gym as much, right? Like
Right.
he kind of went to the upper east side more. But I know that he knew what you were squatting. Like your squats started like going up, and like I know that money knew.
Right. We were battling. We're battling in bench, and we're battling in squat, right? And I was starting to really make some improvements in bench, and my squat game was going up quick. And in fact, he ends up getting hurt, I think, just trying to really push himself. He gets hurt because he's pushing himself. And he's probably maybe 10 kilograms ahead of me at one time.
What happened today or yesterday?
Yesterday was crazy, right? So
No, I mean like with money specifically.
Oh,
Do you remember?
with the bench, well,
Do you remember?
you're talking about how he always arches his back and he
No.
cheats?
No, that wasn't what I was talking about. No. That he waited for you to do your top rep.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then he went-
oh yeah, of course. Okay, that's standard stuff. So I ended up doing 25 reps of 50, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, cheer, 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 cheer!"
Oh,
happy,
so
happy,
it wasn't
Yeah.
the max bench.
No.
What did you bench yesterday?
My max bench.
What did you bench yesterday?
I did 90,
90.
and then I was planning to do
There's a lot of people.
yeah. It was weird. I didn't find it, but I
90,
was
you
planning,
did- you
I
benched
did
90.
90, and I should have just probably went to 93.
What did Money do?
Money said he did 95, but it looked very sloppy to me. It didn't look like he was all arched up and all this stuff. I'll call him no rep. I'm gonna say it's a no rep, right? And then we both did 50 on the rep out.
So you got it up, but it looked ugly.
It was
At 95.
It was a mess.
Did
It was
he
a
do
mess.
90?
He did 90. He did
Okay,
90.
so like
Yeah.
he we'll say at minimum you
Yeah.
tied.
His bench is definitely stronger than mine right now.
At maximum, if you would call the bench if you would say it's a green light,
Yeah.
then like okay, but
Yeah.
like that's up for debate.
Yeah. So we.
So
you know,
it was the
Yeah.
reps. Tell
Right.
me about what happened to the reps?
So I did 25 reps, which is a lot of reps. You were with me and you were cheering me on, and everyone was pumped, and the whole gym was doing their thing. And of course, I went first, and I did 25, and I'm all psyched and all pumped up. And I know, of course, he's going to do one more rep than me, which is what he always does, right? He's just going to be like, okay, why do my max effort when all he has to do is he needs to one up me. He loves to one up me, so he went and did 26. That's his
Still,
thing. Yeah,
Who's that?
yeah.
You guys are still at it.
Oh yeah, there's no question. But he's definitely passed me up in certain things. But he doesn't back squat anymore, right? Since he had that knee surgery thing, he just does mostly front squats. So
Yesterday, how did it feel for you? Like all those people, they weren't there for the workout. They were there because they had a connection.
Oh, yeah.
you. And I think the connection wasn't like just that you had met and knew each other's name. They felt they cared about you. And I think because you cared about them and you had a connection, and whether they had to work, whether they had obligations, they were like, I'm not going to miss that. I came up for that.
I know.
I made
Yeah.
the other stuff was second.
Yeah.
Like it was your birthday workout was coming up. It was like, I'm booking the flight.
Yeah.
I'm booking the flight now. And then I'll do the other business stuff. But how did all that feel for you?
It feels awesome. I think the connections I make with everybody is like Scott Swanson. The first day I met Scott Swanson, we're working out. Like he didn't know me that much, right? But I'll just do the simple gesture. Push, pump up Scott on that last set.
I bet you could tell a story about everybody in there.
Oh,
I could go through it.
I'm sure.
What about you? Okay, you and Lauren, Scott's.
So Lauren's brand new to me, right?
Okay,
So
but
Lauren,
she was there.
Yeah.
Why was she there?
Well, we started, I've been doing thought days upstairs, and Sasha's up there and Lauren's up there. So we just started making a connection to each other because I'm up there. I think people see, I'm not going to say I work like a beast up there. I work as hard as I can, but people see, I'll give better examples. Monica Habini, right? Monica, she laughs at me because she sees I'm goofy, right? But she says to me, when are you working out and doing thought days? And I say, oh, I'm not sure. Why? She goes, because I want to work out with you. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not thinking of it that big of a deal, but I'm like, okay, 4:30. Because I think she sees what I do and how hard I work and how, how positive that energy is around me because I'm pumping the other guys. We're all working out together. We feel like it truly feels like a team if you come to 4:30, there's no way you can say you don't feel as part of a team, when you could go to maybe some different sessions at different times, maybe that's not the case, but our 4:30 is always special. It doesn't matter if you're Spodes and you've been around forever, you're Monica, you're pick one, right? They all feel that energy that we bring. And I'm the linchpin to that because I'm the only one who stays at 4:30 and has been at 4:30 for now 10 years or how long
People
I've been
come
going.
and go.
Yeah, but I'm
Pat's
4:30. I'm 4:30. That's my magic time. And if you come to 4:30, that's where you'll find me, and I'll make a connection with you if you come to 4:30. So I usually don't go to any other class but 4:30 for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's kind of the magic power hour for, now we call it the Asian invasion because it's mostly, Asian people, but it was not like that in the beginning, right?
All those signs.
Yeah.
The pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people feel like they really know you.
Yeah.
Like that's like the opposite of what I was talking about with the people in Austin.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Is like these people like can joke with you, play with you, like
totally
make fun
Yeah.
pictures,
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. And they know that I don't get like all like bitchy about it or like, I'm offended by it or affected by it. People know me. Like when I finish my thought and I'm climbing or crawling off a device and I'm on the ground and people will come up, they're laughing with me and at me, and I'm fine with all of it because I'm like, look, I gave you my heart on that thing and I'm in total pain right now. And you always say you gotta gather your composure. I'm like, I'm trying, but I'm in so much pain that I feel like I'm gonna black out. But people notice that stuff, and I think they appreciate it because they know that I didn't just fudge that thing. I went pretty hard, right? So those are the moments where we used to say band of brothers and we're gonna go dark for each other. We're gonna go black, right? Go dark. So I've always kept that in my mind. And I don't always do it, but when I do it, I'm going, right? I'm gonna get a 138, 139, and 500-meter row. That's freaking hard for me, right? That's pushing a lot.
Going dark.
Yeah, that's like, you have to go dark for me to accomplish that. I can't just do that just because I want to do it on a Tuesday. I got to say, I have to do this. I'm going to do this. It's like, like where you're looking at the screen and it's almost like melting. It's not even there, right? And at that point, you got to just close your eyes and just keep on pulling, and it doesn't matter because eventually it's going to come to an end, right? That's that euphoric feeling.
Do you think you're going to have a 60th birthday workout?
I mean, I hope so. I think that's the plan, right? I don't see anything slowing me down. I've learned how to manage my body in the last few years. Like, I protect my knee because it's the most messed up thing and I won't let it slow me down. So I think the answer is, yeah, I expect to. I don't expect to go anywhere. Like people have tried to take me away from the fort and I'm like the cement, I'm the concrete. I'm not going anywhere. If Kyle needs me at this gym, whatever gym he wants me at, that's where I'll be. 4:30.
Let's go, baby.
I was born a fighter. I rise up like smoke from a gun, like a brand new sun. Since the day I was born a fighter, I rise up.
Thank everybody for coming to my 50th torture rack. I appreciate it. Hope to be here for 50 more. Let's go! So I was going in for this special exam called a executive health program exam through Mayo Clinic, and I had to get a primary physician, primary care doctor. So I just picked one on the Upper West Side, and he had me do a couple tests. And they kept on saying, "Hey, there's something not right." So I got something called an echocardiogram, and they really saw something wrong, and it showed that half my heart was dead, and that the Widowmaker was 99% blocked. My cardiologist was like, when she saw it, which was the same day in the afternoon, said, "You need to get over to the emergency room so they can get you a stent put in," right? Which they come up through your wrist, and they put it right there in your artery. But I fought because they said I was going to have to change my whole lifestyle until I got the stent put in. So by Friday, they got me in and they put in a stent. And then I feel better, but it was pretty surprised. And now I'm on like all kinds of heart medication to get my cholesterol down and all that. But I'll find out, in fact, tomorrow if my heart is fully pumping again.
You're having a checkup again?
It's been about 6 or 7 months, so it's about time. I personally think without the fort, I wouldn't be here today, right? Just pushing my heart all the time, pushing my cardio, being in the best shape of my life.